So, back, we are discussing your purpose and your path, and how you can find your purpose and your path. So, in the previous part, we were discussing finding personal truth and knowing who you are, and simply making an observation about yourself, your behaviors, your reactions. You don't have to define them, so to speak. You don't have to label them. Just sort of understand them and see them and observe them. Don't make any personal attachment to anything. See it for what it is, understand the experience, and expand from that because you understand the experience. And so once you understand these things, you are able to further be in alignment within the awareness of Source and of who you are. That's why you should always know who you are and always find personal truth from deep within. So it will resonate with you, and it will be an unfeeling sort of feeling that you'll just know deep within yourself. And I mean, that's the only way to describe it. So, to describe my experience, my observation to it. And perception is extremely important with all of this, as we must always remain balanced in our perception, in our observation, and not become too attached or form judgments to it, sort of moral, ethically good or bad, notions to a certain quality or event or person or action or idea. It's simply just observing it for what it is and taking and learning from that experience and expanding and growing. Knowing who you are. Like I said, there are various reasons that it's good to know who you are. I mean, you've been given this beautiful opportunity to live in this sanctuary, essentially. I mean, amongst multidimensional realms, Earth is viewed as a sanctuary planet, and its beauty, its land, even its people, its primitive people at the core, considerably, are absolutely beautiful, because simplicity is absolute beauty. And I think that's sort of the greater message of Earth. Simplicity is beauty. And so this technology, this new robotic world that we've become so amalgamated into is really limiting for planet Earth, because it doesn't allow that natural beauty to flourish. It actually does the opposite. It destroys it. It uses up all its resources in the making, because this is the present technology that we have. And it also pollutes, because once you've changed the forms of these atoms, they can't always be decomposed just as easily as they were made. So then you're stuck with that problem. And then what about the other effect of it? The fact that it's its own consciousness, literally. So what happens with that? I mean, there's so many movies, The Animatrix, I, Robot, Battlestar Galactica, that talk about aliens, robots, having this consciousness, really, that can expand that of the awareness of a human. Or does it? That's all one's perception. And so often I wonder why, we have these movies and these shows. I'm not saying that it's true or not, it's just a thought. And I think it's symbolic of that Earth relationship, really. And it is symbolic in the sense that all this technology, yes, potentially it can be good. I'm not against technology, believe it or not. I'm against the misuse of it and the inappropriate behaviors associated with it, really. And the irresponsibility of it as well. And so if we were, to live in a society that utilizes technology with nature, once again, that balance of all this energy into one, it would work beautifully. But because the consciousness is not at a level that is of balance, it is not resonating on the same frequency, and so it creates conflict, essentially. And that's where we're at with humanity. So we need to really desocialize and deprogram ourselves from this greater reality, collective consciousness that we have become a part of, and that we think is true, that is as true as we believe. And maybe that's right, and that's why it is true, because we believe it, essentially. So yeah, that is what the entity Arya has said. Belief is essential to expanding your consciousness, simply because it's self-resonated. and it's self-experience at the core, and it's not just something you believe because someone's told you, because you've been socialized. It's because you've experienced what you believe as well. It resonates at that level with you, with your core. That's what it is. It's this experience. It's the experience of it all. That is the whole point of life. It's this experience of it. So you have been blessed here on this earth plane with experience, and I think you should really utilize your purpose and your path. That is why, we shouldn't get so constricted and so boggled down with material possessions and the physical world and physical pleasures and all that. Those are good things, and I'm not saying that we don't need to do them. They have a time and a purpose, definitely. But we also need not forget that we are spiritual beings living an earthly existence for experience. So when you limit your consciousness to a certain experience, to a certain aspect of the collective, say the physical aspect of it, as we perceive whatever, then you're limiting your experience of everything else that exists outside of this space. And until you open and let go of the control of that thinking and experience more, then you really do experience more. It sounds cliche, but literally when you open your mind and you read more and you meet more people and you go to other places, simultaneously your mind expands. Literally, your awareness expands. You notice you don't judge people as much anymore, or you just don't care. You sort of see it from this third perspective that it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And so living in that space, as I always say, sort of outside of yourself, within yourself though. Because you're always within. But outside of that ego self, the unified self, the higher self. It's really interesting. It's pretty amazing. So once you're utilizing that energy and connected, you can expand. And so because you have fulfilled your spiritual goals in this existence, in this lifetime, then you get to experience more, because you're not constricted to this limited experience, this limited thinking, because of the lack of an experience too, so rather the greater experience. So it's important that we just stay true to our spiritual paths. And like I said, astrology is really good for understanding who you are with the birth chart. If you go to astro.com, go to free horoscopes at the top. On the left hand, so once you get into that, there is Astro Click Portrait, and do Astro Click Portrait. Okay, exactly. And it'll be the first one, be like 4. Click that one at the top. Type in your birth information. You don't have to know your birth time to know the whole chart. You can still get planetary positions, which is just basically where the planets are in particular signs, which further explain your specific personality. So type in your information. You'll see a circular chart. Click the little symbols. You'll see just various symbols like Venus and Mercury and Mars and all that good stuff, like a sun, moon. And a little window should pop up, and read it and learn all about yourself. And I feel like that will help you to understand what you might be good at if you can't figure it out yourself. And a lot of times it's not just somebody telling you something. Once again, it's resonating within you. So, for example, you've always had an interest in painting or writing ever since you were a child. You've wanted to utilize that. Okay? And then you just happen to read that you're, a double Pisces, a sun in Pisces and a moon in Pisces. There you go. There you have it. So you should be full of inspiration and creativity, so you can utilize that gift and understand that. So, that's just an example. Numerology is really, really helpful for that, more specifically because you can understand your years and your cycles and growth. It's really important. So, I want to thank everyone for definitely coming to the show and checking us out. It's pretty amazing. Once again, the energy of it. So utilize your life, be who you are, understand yourself, understand your path, know truth, let it self-resonate within, and be fabulous and beautiful. And just be who you are. So yeah, thanks.